all the audience. Who are in the live session for today's discussion on research impact and how to increase your research impact and how to get your research impact, more impact, or increasing your research impact on social through the use of the social media platform. So first of all, I'll introduce myself, and then I'll introduce about IIU, the organizer for this particular event. So this is how we'll progress. Myself, Dr. Souvik Ganguli. I am an assistant professor serving in the Department of Electrical and Instrumentation Engineering for the last 13 years. And it has been a long journey in which I have completed my MTech as my PhD as well. And before that, prior to that, I have a work ex of almost 2.5 years in industries, in a manufacturing industry. I have done my BTech in electrical engineering. My MTech degree is in mechatronics. And currently, I'm pursuing my research. My thrust area of research is in control system identification, and delta operator modeling. So with this, I'll introduce myself, and after that, let me talk about IIU, the International Internship University, which is a leading virtual education system and global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and the trusted worldwide and well-reputed organization in delivering innovative programs. Globally, it is a trusted organization and well reputed in delivering innovative programs. It is globally a trusted name for quality, for providing some quality training programs, and is committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young aspirants, young learners across the globe. So in a short span of time, your IIU has spread its wings in 195 countries and around 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit sir, and a committed and inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist for the past 2 decades, providing education to the students in various social and cultural backgrounds. So with this, I complete the introduction, my introduction, as well as the introduction for the IIU, the platform we are using right now to expand my thoughts, my research profile, as well as going through some discussion on research impact or how to increase the research impact through the social media platforms. So with this, we'll have the start. So the first thing to begin is that how we can promote our research. Normally, it happens that we are publishing, we are doing editing jobs, we are doing different research activities like bringing a project, a sponsored, funded project. We are bringing also some innovations in terms of patents, our students, our undergrad students, our postgraduate students, as well as those who are pursuing PhD under our guidance. They are publishing articles, they are doing some good research work, they are doing some quality research work, they are publishing in some well-reputed journals, and but still we are sometimes way behind in promoting ourselves. So the first thing that we'll take up, that how will we promote our research, or how will we make our research visible to the audience, to the researchers, or to our collaborators, or to get some prospective collaborators as well. Sometimes our research go unnoticed as well. So publicizing an article, it's work, but as well as it is having some worth. So there is a quote from some reputed professor, Russell Warren. He is commenting on that fact that I have received more emails about my article in my past 2 months, and I have all about other work and the previous year's works and all those things, and other universities are inviting me to discuss my work. My students are getting excited about their research. They see, because they are seeing some attention. So attention is something which is more important out there. We are getting some recognition in terms of some collaboration. Some prospective collaborators can contact us. We can get some good research collaborating with some other countries as well. So definitely it's an interesting article that I'll something which interests to the public, but it is not getting, because we are publishing it in some journal or some issue or some blogs or something of that sort, but it's not getting to the public, right? So maybe some other persons, they want to work with us, or they want to collaborate with us, they want to share their views with us, right? So in that case, they are not able to, definitely not able to do it. So obviously, publicizing your work is your article is work, but it is also work that you are also publicizing your. So some of the promotional channels which are there, you store certain repository. Say for example, we at our institute, we are maintaining some repository for some subjects, the courses we teach to the students. We share the ppts, we share the videos, online videos which we created for the last 2 or 3 years, and we maintain a proper repository through our institute portal. But at the same time, we can also publicize ourselves through some media, through some public relations, or through some personal blog, or through creating certain websites, some videos of our work, showcasing our experimental setup, the conferences in which we are going. We can interact with them, share our new thoughts, and share our ideas to them. And of course, another important aspect out here is a preprint or an e-print, which are very getting very popular, and it has become a compulsory part of most of the top publishing houses. So conducting some special sessions in conferences so that your work will get noticed, presenting in a conference with some new ideas, generate some new ideas, and get yourself presented in a conference. And it's always a good exchange of idea that take place. And of course, you have a very good networking being created through the conferences. Apart from that, you can conduct a workshop, you can attend a workshop which interests you, and share your thoughts as well. You can publicize through your social media platforms, like say for example, these days people are looking after your LinkedIn profile, your ResearchGate profile. There are several platforms which have come up. It's like Poblons is there, some Research Square is there, where you can provide your preprint and get yourself noticed. Your work is getting noticed. And of course, you must take into account the policy related to that particular research idea, or that particular institutional policy that may be restricting you, but you have to be very careful about that. In the meantime, you can also post some YouTube videos of your research work after it is getting published, after it is getting recognition like that. You can have your podcasts and all those things. Apart from that, we will shortly discuss about ACOs and how authors can promote their research work through the ACOs. ACO stands for search engine optimization. So this is very important tool these days, which uh, your all the companies are getting into these things, or tips for the authors, and how to cite your how to include the keywords in your article, how to include your keywords and synonyms in the abstract, how to reflect through some headings which are very proper or significant headings, and wherever it is possible that you include some of the keywords from the headings directly. So these are the things by virtue of which you can increase your visibility of your research. So that say for example, let me share my personal experiences. We went on for publishing in one of the important articles of ours. And I think we had published in that particular book of Springer 4 chapters significantly related to IoT, Internet of Things. So what we saw later on in the later stages, after a year or two, it is getting noticed everywhere, and we have received almost 50 sites for each of the chapters we published out there. More than 50 publications, 50 citations that we have received of these particular 4 articles, which are published in some reputed publisher book in the form of Springer. So that is basically a book on Internet of Things, and we had been able to get our sites close to 50, or nearly crossing 50 these days, in each of the articles that we had published so far. And it is almost 1.5 years, or nearly 2 years down the line. So this is how we work. We have to choose our keywords in such a way that it is attractive enough. Choose your title, article title, which is very attractive enough. Somebody reads your abstract and then makes a sense that whether I should go in for downloading the full paper or not. So definitely some keywords must be there, or some synonyms must be there in your abstract as well. So make clear headings, proper headings of your article sections or subsections, and obviously try to link that article, create an inbound link to, once your article gets published. The DOI link is the digital object identifier link is, of course, there for your visibility of your article, so that everybody can read it. So wherever you are sending your reference or your CV, when you are updating your CV, do provide the DOI link. That will be better for your visibility, so that others can also go through your papers when they are having the soft copy of your CV, of your work, of your research. So this is another way by virtue of which we can, of course, improve ourselves and move ahead. So this is what we are calling as the search engine optimization, where it will be getting reflected. So Google is using, definitely Google Scholar is using the search engine optimization. Say the way you are making the search with some keywords, if those keywords fit your article keywords, so definitely it will be get noticed and it will be caught. And that's why we are calling it that SEO tips for the authors, for the researchers. So this is how you can go about it. You can get your work noticed, and you get your works being cited everywhere, right? So preferable to keep your own CV, and preferable to share your research articles with the DOI, so that it get noticed immediately with whoever is using the soft file of your CV or your resume. So how to decide where you do promote? So obviously, uh, if talking, nobody is talking about my research area, how to create your own content, how to develop your own content. These days, there are some publishing houses which are requiring graphical abstract. So that is more important. Graphical abstract, how to create your new content, how to visualize, make them create or make your authors or your audience, your target audience, to create some interest on a new thing, right? So how would you go about to create certain interest in them? Apart from that, you can say, for example, there are some communities who would like to join, or you would like to be a part of your research. So you have to target those like-minded people, like-minded individuals, or like-minded groups, research groups. Say, for example, I'm working on in the area of automatic control, or I'm working in the area of system identification. So I look for some researchers who are having a common mindset of work in this particular area of control research group, or some in some universities in different parts of the world. So definitely I'll look for, target those individuals when I can, where through their email IDs I can share my research, so that they get noticed, or they go through our research article and try to think over, share their experiences. Say, for example, I'll quote a very small example out here. Say, for example, we posted through our institutional server, which is DSpace, we posted one ME thesis, master degree thesis of my student. The next day, I received an email from a particular author whom I have quoted and whose paper was cited. He shared his experience on our thesis. Once it is getting into the public domain, it is getting noticed as well. So once through the portal we uploaded the thesis, immediately we received an email that these are the works which we are currently doing. So if you require any help, we can share you with some of our latest research articles. And they immediately shared few of their research articles. So that is helped to the research to go ahead. And if we want to collaborate, there was an opportunity for us to collaborate with them as well. So this is how we can target some like-minded individuals. This is how we can target some like-minded individuals. We can create interest in some new group. Say, for example, if you are going to a class, if you are uh, going to a class of undergraduate or postgraduate students, definitely we can discuss some of the research or some of the latest trends that we are having. And in that case, in a way, we can be very create some interest in the new students. We can create some interest on the new students. And of course, we can post some information about the research, about the latest trends, about the latest innovations that we are making to the public as well, so that some may be curious enough to know our content. So information must be all over the place. Say, for example, if you are at Twitter, if you are at Facebook, if you are at any other social media, you post some videos, you give some graphical abstracts so that it creates some interest. You can also post in your LinkedIn profile as well. LinkedIn profile these days are being sought after by different organizations, by different universities as well, and they post their latest research, their latest trends in the research as well. So this is how you have to decide that how we can promote our research, how we can go about it, whether it should be posted in LinkedIn, whether it should be shared. There is an option in ResearchGate. If you look at, there's a private sharing option. So you can share your test not publicly, but you can share the text privately as well to the requested persons. So this is how you can go about promoting your research. You can share your thoughts, you can share your ideas, you can raise some questions to make your audience curious about your research. So this is how we can proceed. So some of the tricks, I should say, some of the tricks that, or the tips that we normally do, uh, say, for example, when we are going to a conference, we arrange some meetings in advance. We look for sessions that are relevant to our research. Say, for example, I have planned two of my conferences. This year, I'll be presenting somewhere in November. I'll be going to a place in a conference where I'll meet some good researchers in my domain of research in the areas of computing. So definitely I'll go through once the paper, or once the invited talks, once the plenary sessions are there, I'll look into that which will be my interest, so that I will look for those sessions and I'll look for some relevant work related to that particular research. Or when you are presenting your paper, once you are presenting your paper, definitely some questions are raised, some new ideas are exchanged, some guidelines are of course there. And of course, when you are at the audience seat, you can obviously ask some questions, ask your doubts regarding somewhere which you have faced in your current research, or which is closely matching your research. Apart from that, you may use social media. You may do it before that I'm joining so and so conference. You can do it during the conference, post some photos, and also you can update through your presentations or through your certificates. You can update it in some social media platform to get yourself noticed. So this is how you can do about it, and definitely some questions will be there in the minds of where you are sharing your research, where you are discussing some 2-3 minutes you can spend on some new sessions. You can join the poster session as well, because in international conferences we have some poster sessions as well available in the different international conferences. And say for example, I'll be joining next year in the month of June. Probably I'll be joining some conference, some international conference in another domain of my research, that is in power system transients. So definitely we'd like to long for this particular conference and like to meet some good delegates out there in Greece. So that's a summer season, and probably we can expect some good amount of speakers. It's a well-reputed conference. So of course we can get some good ideas, we can see some good poster presentations being there. You can prepare yourself for some 2-3 minutes presentation. If you are if you are presenting in a poster, through some poster, or you are presenting it through some of course I'd like to mention some interesting point. These days people are not going to the conferences and they are presenting virtually. This has destroyed the exchange of ideas, the exchange of thoughts, the exchange of discussions. Some fruitful discussions are being missed out through the virtual mode of the conferences. So this is one area that we must look into for, in order to promote our research, in order to go ahead, in order to get some prospective collaborative researchers in our domain of research. So this is another important area. If it's a virtual mode, don't go for the virtual mode, don't go for the hybrid mode, because these days people are opting for the virtual mode in order to present. Why should I go to such and such place? I have to book the tickets, I have to arrange for a hotel, I have to get in time or something of that sort. So for that people are avoiding, but this is not the case. When you are presenting in a conference that is relevant to your research area, definitely you must go if it is in hybrid mode, and if it's taking place offline mode, if you have some other traveling constraints. So definitely opt for this particular mode of interaction. I think we should not include, this is another important thing. That's why we are emphasizing on the graphical abstract. So we are not in a point to include too much of text in our presentation. Rather than we design in such a way, we present it in such a way so that your audience can get a visualization, can get a feel of your project, of your research work. So you should also direct your researchers to your article. That means we have to make our presentation very catchy enough to attract the audience. So this is another important aspect that we look into for when we are attending any conferences, when we are attending any workshops, how we can exchange our ideas, how we can discuss new ideas, generate new ideas, and discuss with the relevant persons who are working in your area of research. Lunch breaks, tea breaks, high tea, these are the sessions in which you establish some good networking with your with different researchers from different countries. So this is another thing which was missing in the virtual mode. Of course, virtual mode has its own advantages, but still, once your research is in your trust area, and once you are seeing some presenters who are very say for example stalwarts in your field. Say for example, it happened to me in the month of February or March. We presented in a conference in which my PhD examiner from UK was also a part of that particular conference. So it was a great opportunity for me also to interact in the live session with him. So this is what we are missing out in the virtual mode. And definitely once they are organizing for hybrid mode, if you don't have any travel constraints, if you do have time, positively visit that conference when you interact with the persons or researchers in your working in your likely domains, and definitely get some research ideas, get some exchange of information, have some discussions, sitting in the lunch together, sitting with a cup of coffee together, and definitely you can be benefited in that way as well. And it is a good way of creating your network. It is meant for conferences, meant for workshops, and meant for these networking and exchange of ideas, getting your ideas, new ideas presented, because normally we present a very small research article in a conference, and of course it can be a poster presentation as well. Even it's a full length paper, of course, only the abstracts get selected sometimes in the proceedings, or abstracts are reflected. So you cannot get hold of the complete paper. So complete paper will come where? It will come in some journal articles. So definitely that is an extended version of what you wrote in a conference or presented in a conference. So this is how we go about it. So these are restricted, of course, I should say, these are restricted to certain conditions when we go for the press releases or some media attention. When do we require? If the innovation is such that is your press campaign right for your research? So do you feel that your research is bringing about an innovation which is market driven, which is product driven, right? So definitely you can go about for the proper campaigning or the press campaign if it is required. Do you have time and resources to dedicate to that particular campaign? This is also another important thing. Can you convey a clear message, clear-cut message through your, what is the societal impact of this particular research, of your research work? So is it beneficial for the society? Say, for example, we have seen during the COVID era, we have seen several innovations taking place with respect to masks, with respect to the sanitizers, sanitizing channel, all those things were developed. Those were driven absolutely for the benefit of the society at that particular time. So when we are going for some press releases, and when we want to campaign, when we want to campaign about our innovations, so the first thing that we observe over here are where we are getting some major discoveries. Say, for example, you are doing something which will help you, which will help in some defense applications. Say, for example, you are able to make a IoT based robot for a defense application or for some military application. So definitely it's a research which is a major discovery. So when we are going ahead for some major discovery, definitely you must be going for some press releases or some campaigning in that side. Once again, I'm telling you, once it is having a social impact, a very example I've given you just now, the sanitizing channel, automatic patient carrier, or something of that sort, which will benefit your society, or some say, for example, I was seeing some undergrad project. I was taking a YOC for an undergrad project in which they came up with some new idea regarding automated parcel delivery. So that is definitely be beneficial for the society. So societal impact, what definitely you can propagate your research through some press releases and through some campaigns where there is a recommendation for a particular change. Say for example, we are looking for some defense application. We are doing some research on robotics, and that is beneficial to the mankind. Definitely we are recommending for a change. Definitely you should have a press release or a press campaign. Timely topic, contemporization of the topic is more important in your research. So if you have a contemporary topic which is very much relevant to the need of the hour of topic, so if it's a need of the hour topic, definitely you go ahead for the press releases and the campaigns related to it. And of course, if you have enough time to deliver, to propagate, definitely go ahead for the press release and campaign of your research. What is not suitable for a press campaign? If it's a published research, if it is already being published, if it's not in the ideal stage, if it's not in the innovation state, you have already published that particular article, it is no longer required to go for the press campaign of it. It is interesting, but it is not a news. It's not a happening news. Don't go for the campaign. Don't go for the press campaign. If it's a niche area of work, say for example, we are narrowing down each and every day from electrical, going ahead to the low voltage applications, or moving ahead for computer related research, or narrowing down the things. Say for example, if you are doing a campaign for a particular target audience which is very small, so definitely press campaign is not required. If you are dealing with certain small sample sizes, of course you will not. If it is not dealing with a large sample size or a huge mass that is being involved, which will, the society will get benefited or something of that sort, definitely your campaign should not go ahead for the press release. And nobody available to talk on that particular issue, so they don't know your research. Absolutely, whatever I am doing, if it's not visible to the audience, if it is not attracting the audience, why should I go for the press campaign? Rather, I should prefer to go in for some social media platforms and present, or provide some YouTubes, provide some uh, source code in some open source platforms or like that. I can go in that fashion so that my research get noticed. So it is not always that unless and until you do a breakthrough work, unless and until you go for an innovation that is helpful for the society, or anything of that sort, that you are building certain robot or something of that sort that is being employed for some defense applications, there is no need to go for the press campaign or press release of your innovation. It's not required, of course. So you have to judge your work, your idea, whatever you are presenting in the form of a press release, on the form of a press campaign. Normally, press campaigns or these type of things are required, preferably for defense or certain applications related to some research related to space research organizations. They go for the press release because they don't publish their work. Naturally, they cannot publish their work for security reasons. They cannot publish their work, right? So there only you can go in for a suitable press campaign. Otherwise, it is not required to go for a campaign. The last thing that I'd highlight upon, and which many of researchers like us, they are lacking behind, and we are trying to reach our audience, trying to make our visibility being felt or something of that sort. That's why increase in our citations or something of that sort. Definitely, we are have to look these days in the social media platforms as well, and to propagate our research ideas, to propagate our articles. If we have published any article in some standard journal or in some reputed journals, definitely we can go in the social media, and of course maintaining the institutional norms, because a few institutes like us, we have a LinkedIn platform, of course, to propagate as well. So there are two things that I'll quote from here. People are going to tweet and blog about your articles no matter what, and take the opportunity to engage them with some interested audiences. So definitely you have to, if you are tweeting some of your research ideas, some through some blog sites of yours, definitely few will definitely repark it, and definitely you have to take this particular opportunity in a positive way and engage them suitably. So I think decision makers, another important quote which I'm reading out. I think that decision makers and societies in general needs to have access to what we do at a level that they can understand. So of course you are doing certain research. Say for example, if I start teaching you all of a certain control system, you may be from a general arts background or commerce background, you will not be able to understand. So I have to quote in certain in some research in such a way that it's understandable, of course, by a layman. So of course whoever is going through my particular lecture, they will be getting interested to know about my research and things of that sort. So of course, if I tell you a very I'll flood my PPT with certain mathematics or something which is not of interest to each and every audience, they naturally will not catch up with the things, and they will lose track and they will not connect, because you have to connect those dots, and which is important to support your scientific or your research enterprise. So definitely, for propagating your research, you have to come down to that level so that it is understandable by a layman who is reading it in our social media platform, in your tweets, in your blogs, in your Facebook profile, or in your LinkedIn profile. May not be He is not be reading it in a ResearchGate profile, or a Publons profile, or any other research related profiles. If he is not, definitely we will not we cannot we can go in for some layman language definition in which every people can understand the reality of your research work. Otherwise, it will once again go unnoticed. So how can we use different social media platforms, and what benefit will it give? So of course, you ask yourself some questions, that how will you present your idea, how will you connect your academicians in your particular research field, and how will you spread your word of research that you are undertaking. So of course, the language is important. Over here, we see over here that we have reflected through Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So these are some of the important social media platforms that we may use for to propagate our research, to publicize our articles, to increase our downloads, to increase our citations in terms of time or in terms of impact, or where it is getting published. You may also quote the particular journal reference, or you may provide the DOI so that they can click on the link and immediately check out that what kind of research that you are doing. And of course, you must fight disinformation. So you must present it in such a way that it is understandable by the general layman audience as well. So that this is very important. Social media these days are very important to bring you on a high note and to get yourself noticed. At the same time, often you do an impressive work. Of course, we are expecting that you are doing some impressive work in your own field, but fortunately or unfortunately, you are not being able to get through your research. You are not able to highlight upon your research, and you are not being able to provide a particular thrust or a particular impactful research is getting unnoticed. Your impactful research is not getting noticed at all. So before we start posting, there are a few things that we must look upon, that whom you are targeting. What is your target audience? Say, for example, I'm delivering a speech. I should know that what kind of audience is there for me, right? So define your audience. So try to target those whom you want to reach. Look at where this audience is available. Say, for example, whether your research circle is available in LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, they're regular users of Facebook or they're regular users of Instagram. So likewise, you can check out that where your friend circle or your research circle is operating on. What are the sites they are definitely looking on? Say, for example, we have some collaborations in international profile. So what kind of things they things they are looking at, right? So this is how we should take the things, and what kind of messages that you want to convey through your particular research. What is the best method by virtue of which we should convey them, right? Giving some post, right? Connecting them through some blogs, or connecting it through some post in your LinkedIn profile. There's a professional profile that we normally use. And how will you measure your success, that how your work is getting noticed to the different persons, right? So this is how we go about it. This is how we have to go about it in order to make our research getting noticed to the general public. Now, there are some value additions and there are some risks being associated. Whether our audience are already, whether we have been able to create certain audience, whether we have been able to form certain groups, some research circles out there in some space, in some social media platform, whether the interaction that we are having, it's a real-time interaction. Say, for example, right now I'm on Facebook Live, I'm interacting with you live, and after that I'll respond to some of the questions being raised in the platform. So definitely, if it's a real-time expression interaction, definitely it must be a value addition. Say, for example, you are asking some questions and that question is not answered by me, so of course you'll feel low, right? So this is how we have to. We have a huge resource these days of our useful data through different social media platforms. So we have to make appropriate use of it. Normally, I do not prefer to use Facebook too much, say, for example, or I'm not in LinkedIn at all. So my followers or whoever follows my research, whoever sees my research in Google Scholar or something of that sort, if we do not reflect on, say, for example, somebody wants to connect with me on LinkedIn and I'm not responding to that, definitely he or she will definitely be moving away from us or from our research or from our research corner, or something will happen that definitely the follower will definitely move away or deviate away from us. So it is also our equal responsibility to get our audience in right vibes, so that we can create our own branding. These days we are all we are propagating our research, we are doing the things, we are publishing some good work. At the same time, the work has to be noticed by some followers, right? So we have to create our own image. We call it image, or we call it a brand. Brand is not the absolute word, exact word in academics, but still brand building is equally important for the institute, for the university, and for the individual as well these days. Try to test and learn very quickly from these social media platforms. So this will be very important, because once you post something and you get some adverse remarks or something of that sort, definitely you have to learn quickly and try to repost it, or try to put it in a way that is comfortable for the audience, so that your audience is not distracted. So tracking your real-time interaction, of course, it's sometimes difficult as well. We do admit it, because all the time when we are presenting in front of a live audience, of course, it is not available. We are not able to propagate, or we are not able to see the messages, see your responses, see your queries being raised immediately. We cannot answer in real time. So real-time interaction sometimes is lacking in case we are using just as you are seeing now live on Facebook. So sometimes it is not able to, we are not able to immediately respond to you whenever you ask your questions. So to do it well, you need to spend some time. And trolling, definitely, once we are talking about trolling and adverse comments, that so you have to understand that what to post and what not to post, and how to test it quickly and learn from it quickly. So if you have a trolling message, definitely you are sometimes lost, you feel low, and you are not able to recover, because these days, if we find after post-COVID, mental health issues are there with most of the persons. Mental health is definitely a concern area for most of the persons. So misunderstanding, it may create some misunderstanding that I want to propagate my research ideas or something of that sort. So there is a risk that your fellow researchers or your colleagues or your even somebody follows you may feel a little bit misunderstand you in that particular terms. And of course, you must remember that you don't really own it, because it's a social media platform. So we are not getting the ownership of it. So of course, you are just simply using it as a media to propagate your research. You are increasing your impact of research, and of course, your target audience will be mostly at your LinkedIn and ResearchGate or Publons profiles. They will be getting getting you noticed. And of course, we are getting some great messages along with my live session. We are getting some excellent messages from the different corners, some quick tips for you. Be social, definitely comment on, definitely share other users' posts, definitely. You must also tag some relevant users to increase your impact, your reach, and engagement. Definitely, you must use some social media to network with other researchers. Say, for example, we must remain connected through these days through Facebook or through LinkedIn, or whichever we must follow. Say, for example, I have not become a very big man not to follow anyone, right? So we do to follow, right? So of course, we get certain requests for different following options, and we have to take care that if it's a person who is in my research domain, definitely we need to follow that person as well, however small he or she may be. So you have to create some new content. As I told you that these days, few top publishing houses, they require compulsorily the graphical abstract. So of course, as a graphical abstract is to share, we do find in LinkedIn several persons, several top researchers, they also do propagate through their LinkedIn profile, through their Facebook profile, through their, and they increase their research impact. They get their works being published, and they provide an accessible summary in the main text or through some videos. Let me make some new videos on my research, show some experimental setup that we have designed, uh, explain a few things in a 2-3 minute video. The video should be engaging enough, and it will be for a very small duration, and it must provide some a link to the main research piece. And of course, definitely you write to your audience you want to speak to. We have these days Canva apps which are there, which are very popular, to create your own content, to place your own content, to provide some very catchy videos or catchy PPTs that you make. And of course, you have to plan ahead how to go about. It's not that it has acceptance has come at random and you are immediately thinking of no. So you should plan ahead. You should block out some time to consistently work on your social media channels, right? So of course, and there are free tools also available, like Hotsuite is another free tool. Hootsuite is another free tool which is available for your pre-scheduled content. So this is how we can be social, create some new content to our followers, and plan properly so that we get our research impact increased. So this is how we this is a statistics provided by some organization who is in the publishing part. So what are the reasons that researchers failed, that they are unequipped to participate in some public engagement? So lack of training. So this is very important. We are not properly trained to post in social media. So 30% of us are lacking in training of how to post, how to put it in social media. Lack of experience. We always do not share our research ideas. Say, for example, when I briefed you about my profile, I did not say anything about my research areas, that how many books I have published, how many. This is the things that you get yourself noticed. This is a lack of experience. We are gradually entering into some public domain in which we need to share our thoughts, our views, and In this way, we have to engage our social media people so that we are able to do some good research as well as propagate them in appropriate time. Lack of time, sometimes I have some engagement. Say, for example, if you had asked me next week to put it a video or a live session, I would have definitely said no. I don't have time because I have some prior engagement. So obviously, lack of time is another. Not confident enough that what to post, how to post. These sort of questions that they normally recur in our mind. That do you have the don't have the necessary skills? Definitely we don't have the, say for example, the Hootsuite or the platforms that we mentioned, Canva, which we are not used to too much. So obviously, while posting a new video or posting a new PPT, definitely we have to learn about these tools. So we have to devote some time specially for it, and don't know how to get involved. So how to engage, how to uh, write about the things that uh, what to post and how to get your audience engaged. And uh, definitely uh, these sort of things are there. These are the barriers to getting into public engagement, right? Of course, there are some supports which are there, some YouTube tutorials that you may post on, or you may see, you'd like to see. You may engage yourself in some community blogs or some forums. You may you may present through some webinars, some podcasts. Definitely some funder support if you require, how to get some funding, how to get some author services, because this is a part which is there popularly with all of the top publishing houses, like Taylor and Francis is one of them I mentioned here. But there are several publishing houses which provide support to the author services. They engage yourself to know about you, know how to put it in a graphical form, and how to give proper support to the authors or the prospective researchers. And of course, institutional support, definitely, just as I told you, had I told my media people, immediately they would post it through that I have so and so presentation on so and so date, and so it will be public, it will be the public domain, so everyone can attend it. And of course, if the link is provided, definitely some more audience will be there to attend my video, or to attend my webinar or workshop or podcast or something of that sort. So definitely these are the different platforms by virtue of which you get yourself trained, you get yourself attend some workshops, generate some funding. Of course, your institution is of course there to help you out, and you get your community blogs, you get your forums. And right now I'm looking at some of the different social media posts that we have. And thank you so much for all the positive comments that we are seeing in this particular post. Uh, some wishes, some great session from Charles. Well done. Great job, IIU. Definitely, IIU has given me this particular platform to present before you. Uh, Once again, Charles is commenting, great presentation, well done. Very good. We appreciate your time, definitely. Inga is saying great presentation, sir. Thank you so much. So great work, great teamwork, well done by Piyush sir. Definitely, we are all there to support Piyush sir, and provide some good platform for IIU. Over here, we have received some greetings from Malaysia, Indonesia, Bangladesh. We are seeing flooded with messages, and very well organized and very timely. I should say that we should propagate on this or focus on this particular part, and try to increase our research impact, and how to make our research visible in different social media platforms. With this, I would like to stop here. I think over to the organizers to